विग्रहा त्रिनयना माणिक्यमौली स्फुरत् तारानायक शेखरा स्मितमुखी मापीनवक्षोरुहा पाणिभ्यामलिपूर्णरत्नचषकम् रक्तोत्पलम् बिभ्रति सौम्यां रत्नघटस्थरक्तचरणां ध्यायेत् परामम्बिकाम् सततज्वर विषमज्वर ग्रह नक्षत्र दोषाञ्चान्या हर हर काली सर सर गौरी गम गम विद्ये आले माले काले बन्धे भज भज विद्ये मख मख विद्ये नाशय नाशय पापम् हर हर दुःस्वप्नम् विध्वंसय विध्वंसय
Namaste. Welcome you all for this second week sessions that we are starting on the Global Festival of Yoga, which is organized by Indica Yoga along with the different schools of yoga, different federations, associations of yoga worldwide. And in this beautiful morning, we are going to have yet another wonderful practical session, which is going to be conducted by Aishwarya Chaitanya. I welcome Aishwarya Chaitanya for this session on supported practice of asana. As we all know, Patanjali says, Stiram Sukham Asanam. Asana is not just simply moving the body and making it to be a dynamic practice, but when we maintain the practice with sthiratva, it is then when we can experience the real sukha, that is the blissful experience through which we can go into the all expansive awareness of Ananta Samapatti. This is what Patanjali tells about. And also we have the Hatha Yoga, which also gives us a lot of insights about the asanas. In fact, according to Hatha Yoga, the Pratama Anga of Hatha Yoga is the asana, whereby when you do the asana, you get a lightness of your body, the Anga Laghavam, and you get various other benefits which are being told by Swatma Rama in his wonderful text of Hatha Yoga Pratipika and all other scriptures as well. So therefore, in Indica Yoga, the global festival of yoga, we are trying to bring the best of the yoga asana practices, the philosophy, theoretical discussions, and also experience of bhakti yoga, dhyana, and various sadhana. So today, it's going to be a day of wonderful sadhana in a systematic way. We are having the morning session of the asana practice led by Aishwarya Chaitanya. Then we have Ragish, who is going to lead us through pranayama. In the night, we're going to have Raghu Anantaramanji, who is going to lead us through the Antaranga Yoga. So from Bahiranga Yoga to Antaranga Yoga, a wonderful day of yoga that we are going to have today. And it's my privilege to welcome my friend, Aishwarya Chaitanya, for leading this practice. And it's a privilege to introduce her as well, as I've been doing for all other friends of mine. Aishwarya Chaitanya, the very name of her has been given, blessed by none other than Puja Swami Dayanand Saraswati Ji. So a blessed child she has been right from her childhood days, and the daughter of one of the primordial disciples of Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Sri Prameya Chaitanya. She grew up in a spiritual and yogic Vedantic environment right from her childhood days, thanks to her Pita Shri and Mata Shri, who had given her the beautiful yogi culture right at home. And as she grew up, the interest and passion in all this developed, that after her bachelor's degree in environmental science, with a lot of environmental initiatives that she took in her place of birth and grew up at Vancouver, Canada, she took more interest, more in search of the Guru, more in search of the divinity, more in search of yoga, that brought her back to India. So from Vancouver, Aishwarya made her journey to India. She came here. By then, she had already been a wonderful Bharatanatyam classical dancer as well, a yoga practitioner as well. So when she came back to India, joined with Bhanumati Ji, a wonderful, excellent yoga dance teacher in Bangalore. So she could learn from her, Bhanumati Ji, and enhance her dance skills. And she is continuing to perform in so many places, I would say all across the world. It could be in the US, it could be in Canada, and various places, and also in India, along with the team of Bhanumati Ji. She has been performing, and she has done her master's in performing arts, led by Padma Subramaniam from Shastra University. That's an added glory to Aishwarya. And also to enhance her skills in yoga, she had done the PG diploma in S. Vyasa, and also she had learned from various masters like Sri Arun Sir from Bangalore, and she had been learning at Rishikesh and various places as well. And she has enhanced to become a beautiful yoga therapist and a wonderful Iyengar yoga practitioner. And she has been going to various ashrams for Swami Dayanand Saraswati and various other schools of yoga in India, Vancouver in US and other places, and teaching yoga for more than 10 years from now. And along with her, her passion in environmental science, her passion in Vedanta, where she has been a direct student of Puja Swami Dayanand Saraswati. All these have been so wonderful enhancement of her skills, growth, and knowledge. So she is a blend of classical cultural performance, yoga, and Vedanta, and that's what is Aishwarya Chaitanya is. So with these words, I once again welcome Aishwarya Chaitanya on behalf of Indica Yoga, the Global Festival of Yoga. And here you go, Aishwarya.
Thank you so much.
I also welcome all the more than 120 participants who have joined fresh in the morning. Somebody from India here. There are people from other parts. For them, it could be, in New Jersey, it's almost close to 10 p.m. is what somebody has messaged here. So in spite of those time differences, people have joined from far and wide. So that's the success of this global festival, bringing the best of yoga. And also, I welcome all the panelists and other delegates for the session. So as Aishwarya would be leading the practice, I think she would be using some of the props also. So you can practice along with her. Even I'm ready to practice. And after this, we are going to have question answer sessions. And Aishwarya, be prepared for the sharp questions which our students or our delegates are going to ask you. Always the question answers have been very wonderful session. And we are looking forward for your sharp and brilliant answers, Aishwarya. Thank you so much. It's your time.
Thank you so much, Subbu Bhaiya. What a wonderful introduction, and I'm so happy that it was you here. So I feel much more comfortable, and I thank Indica Yoga, Anuradha ji, Vinay Chandra ji, and Kavita ji for giving my name, and for all of you who have come here, thank you so much. Anuradha ji had asked me to speak a little bit, but now after Subbu Bhaiya's introduction, there's nothing more to be said. He knows me so well. Thank you so much. Let us now begin the session. So sit comfortably, back, neck and head in one line. If you have a pillow or a blanket, you can sit on the blanket in order to raise your lower back of the body up. If not, place your hands behind, stretch, lift the sides of the body, shoulders back and down, chest open, hands resting on your knees. Keep your eyes gently closed, bringing the mind to the tip of the nose. Slowly inhale, slowly exhale, slowly inhale, slowly exhale. Last round, slowly inhale and exhale. Join the palms together. Place the thumb on the sternum. Lift the chest. Gently close the eyes and let us chant the opening mantra together, starting with Omkara 3 times. Inhale. Inhale again. Last time, inhale. Yogena chittasya padena vacham malam sharirasya savaidhyakena yopakarottam pravaram muninam Patanjalim Pranjaliranatosmi. Om. Gently bow the head down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, release the hands and slowly bring your feet forward. Starting with the tips of the toes, let us now loosen all of the joints of our body. Starting with the tips of the toes. Exhale, toes forward. Inhale, toes back. Exhale, toes forward. Inhale, toes back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward and inhale. Pull the toes back. Entire foot. Exhale, feet forward. Inhale, push the heels out, toes back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, pull back. Last round, exhale and inhale. Rotation, side, down, side, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Side, down, side, up. Last round, down, side, up. Opposite, other side, down, side, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Last round, exhale, down. Inhale, up. Release. Tighten the knee, release. Tighten, release. Tighten, release, and tighten, hold. Push the back of the knee towards the ground. Pull the kneecap up. Tighten the thigh muscle. Hold for a few moments without holding the breath. And release. Now coming to the hips, come into Baddha Konasana. Feet together. Once again from here, take your hands behind. Lift up, lengthen the body, maintaining the length. Bring the hands in front, gently moving the thighs. Observe the movement in the pelvis, the stretch in your pelvis. And slowly release. Exhale, bring the knees together. Inhale, open. Exhale, together. Inhale, open. Last time, exhale and inhale. Coming back to Sukhasana, let us stretch the sides of the body. Place the palm, the right hand down. If possible, place the right elbow down without lifting the opposite hip. And stretch up. Push the right forearm into the ground. Engage your right armpit. Stretch the entire left side of the body while pushing the left knee down towards the ground. And come up. Other side. If this is difficult, if it's not possible to keep the forearm without lifting the leg, come straight. Stretch the entire right side of the body. And slowly come up. Now take the left leg on top. Bring the hands front. Walk your hands forward. Breathe for a few breaths. And slowly come up. And now place the other foot. And walk the hands front. And slowly come up. Coming back to Sukhasana, couple of twists. You can take a block or a book, whichever you have, or you can keep the hand on the floor as well. Right hand on the left knee, left hand right behind, so not somewhere back here, right behind, lift and turn. Pull the navel in and up. Make sure your pelvis is tucked under. Slowly take your head to the other side. Keep this elbow out. And slowly release. Repeat on the other side. So right hand on the left, other hand down, lift and turn. And slowly turn the head to the other side. And slowly come back to center. Let us now move the shoulders, hands on the shoulders, elbows together. Inhale up, exhale down, elbows together, inhale, exhale, inhale and exhale. Last round, inhale and exhale. Opposite direction, inhale up, elbows together, exhale. Inhale up, elbows together, exhale. Inhale up, elbows together, exhale. And inhale and exhale. Release, wrist, same principle. Slowly rotate up and down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale and exhale. Opposite direction, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last round, inhale and exhale. Release, stretch the fingers out. Inhale, stretch, tighten the fingers, exhale, tighten, stretch, tighten, stretch, tighten and stretch and tighten. Release. Head rotation, side, down, side, up, side, down, side, up, exhale, down, inhale, up, and exhale, down, inhale, up. Coming back to center, start with the opposite direction, and exhale, down and inhale up, exhale, inhale, last round, exhale and inhale. Slowly come to center, come to standing. For those who can, stand up without touching the floor. For those who cannot, please take all of the support and slowly and safely come to standing. Come to the top of the mat. I'll just make sure I'm audible. Yes. Let's now do a few rounds of Surya Namaskar. Before that, we come to Tadasana. So now if you have your block, please place the block between the knees. Keep the outer edge of your feet parallel. So the heels will be out, the toes will be in. Place the block between the knees, squeeze the block, pull the abdomen in, pelvis tucked in, shoulders back, down, stretch the palms. Hold this posture. Hold the posture. Make sure your legs are tight, the buttocks are squeezed, navel is in, shoulders back, down. Buttocks forward, thighs back. Stretch the fingers. Now raise the hands up without raising the shoulders. Keep the shoulders down. Stretch from the side. So stretch from here, raise up. Maintain the same posture in the legs, all the while squeezing the block between the knees. Slow inhalation, slow exhalation. Slow inhalation and slow exhalation. From here, we are going to bend forward. I'll just face the side. From here, you will inhale, exhale, down. Inhale, up, exhale, halfway. Inhale, squeeze the block, exhale, forward, inhale, biceps in line with your ears, exhale, forward, inhale, up, and exhale, stretch forward. Inhale, slowly come up, release the hands, release the block. Let us now do a few rounds of Surya Namaskara to get properly warmed up. Step to the top of your mat. Once again, come into Tadasana, feet together. There should be no gap between your feet. Tighten the kneecaps, tighten the thighs, navel in and up, pelvis down, shoulders back and down, hands stretched. Inhale, raise the arms up. This is going to be Surya Namaskara A. And exhale, lean forward. If it is difficult to go beyond without crunching your back, bend the knees, place the hands down, fingertips on the floor. Look down. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale. Both legs back, knees, chest, chin. Inhale up. Exhale back. If this is not possible, lift the heel, bend the knee slightly, hold. 5, breathe. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, step forward between the palms, come halfway up. Exhale, fold the knees down. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Namaskara. Inhale, raise the arms up, second round. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, both legs back, knees, chest, chin. Inhale up, navel on the ground. Exhale back. Hold. Lift the knees, lift the heels, bend the knees if need be. Lift your hips to the ceiling. Lengthen the spine. Breathe. hands. Inhale, step forward between the palms, come halfway up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Last round. Inhale up. Exhale, fold down, bend the knees with your knees. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, come back. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale, up. Exhale, back. Lift the heels, bend the knees, lengthen the spine. Or gently walk the heels down to the ground. Breathe. And last breath. And step forward between the palms, halfway up. Exhale down. Inhale, come up. And exhale, Samasthiti. Let us now do a few rounds of the traditional Hatha Yoga Surya Namaskara. So inhale, lift, stretch, bend back slightly. Exhale, bend forward, bend the knees if you need. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, left leg back. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale and exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, back. Inhale, step the right foot between the palms. Exhale, left. Inhale, up. Exhale. Next round, inhale up. Exhale, down. Inhale, step the left leg back. Exhale, right leg. Inhale, exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale up. Exhale, back. Inhale, step the left foot forward. Exhale, right leg. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. Let's do one last round. Inhale, stretch up, then back. Exhale, bend forward. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale, exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, back. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale, exhale. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale up. And exhale. Relax for a few moments before we start the next one. Slow inhalation. Slow exhalation. Slow inhalation. And slowly exhale. Next, let us do Trikonasana. So bring your foot about a meter apart. Place both feet slightly inward. Take the right foot out. Keep the hips square. Left toe slightly in, heel out. Stretch the arms up. Lean to the right. Place your block right by your ankle. You can keep the hand on the block other hand on the waist. Once you take the support of the block, pull up the kneecap, pull up the kneecap, push the right hip forward, left hip rolls back, lengthen the sides. Once you're steady, ribs in, then raise the hand up, look straight. Breathe. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale, pivot the right, turn the left, place your block. First, keep the hips squared. When you keep the hips squared, you might feel some tension in the knee. You can slightly bend the knee if you need. If you can, keep it straight. Pull up the kneecap, left toe in and heel out, and lean forward. Place the hand on the block, other hand on the waist. Tilt. So this is also a twist. Pull up both the kneecaps, left buttock in, right buttock pulled back, right hip rolled back. Take the hand up. Look straight. Breathe. 5. So open the sides, ribs in. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come up. Exhale, join the feet. Next, Parivritta Parsha Kodasana. Don't need the block as such. Step the feet a little more than 1 meter apart and turn the right foot in, left foot, right foot out to the side, left foot in, bend the right leg at the knee, twist, place your palms in Namaskara on the other side. I'll do it facing the other way. First turn, hook the elbow in, and place the palms in Namaskara Mudra. Strong back leg, twist in the spine. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come up. Exhale, other side. 5. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Let us now do a few seated asanas. Come to sitting, starting with Janu Shirshasana. Few ways that we can do it. Keep the legs out, straight, back, neck and head in one line. If you find this is very difficult, you please place a pillow or a few blankets to avoid this. Fold the right leg at the knee, place it at the base of your thigh, heel at the perineum, and inhale, stretch up. Exhale, lean from the root of the spine. So try not to bend, but extend. And for those who find it difficult, You can take the belt, dupatta, place it on the balls of your feet and lean forward like this. Others who can hold, you can hold. 5, 4, pull your navel in and up. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale up, exhale, release. Change the leg, folding the left leg at the knee, right leg straight, left heel at the perineum, and inhale, stretch up, exhale, extend forward. If you're finding it difficult, place the belt, hold, and extend. 5, 4, pull the toes back, heels front. 3, 2, remember we don't want to curve the spine, lengthen. And 1, inhale, lengthen, exhale, release. Twist. Now place the right foot on the other side of the left leg. Take the hand behind. Let the hand be right here, fingertips on the floor, or if you have a block, you can rest the palm on the block. For those who find it difficult to twist, hug the thigh towards the body and turn. For those who can, place the elbow on the other side and twist. Try to keep both your shoulders in one line. Heel is active, feet are active. Look back. For those who can, you can thread your hand inside. And slowly release. Feet in front. Now fold the leg in the opposite direction, the left leg on the other side. Inhale, stretch. Place the elbow on the other side of the knee. Lift. Keep the bottom leg active. Both your shoulders in one line. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Try not to hunch the shoulders. Shoulders are away from the ears. And inhale, bring the head forward. Exhale, release. Relax for a few moments. And one more twist. Holding the right leg at the knee and folding the left leg, placing the left heel under the right buttock. Inhale, extend the hand, stretch forward. Try to grip the opposite hand. If this is difficult, you can use the belt like this. So you hold the belt and the other hand. If possible, grip both sides. And exhale, lean forward. Slow inhalation, slow exhalation. And slowly come up, release the hands, repeat on the other side, folding the opposite leg at the knee. So right leg is folded, left leg is up. Stretch the left hand in front, wrap it around the knee. If you can, hold with the other hand. If you find it difficult, use the help of your belt or dupatta and lean forward. If you're finding that you're getting neck pain, the head is hanging, you can keep the block and rest your head on the block. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Now let us lie down on the back. Fold the legs at the knees. Take the support of your forearms and slowly lie down. Stretch the legs in front. Relax for a few moments. Now bringing the feet together. Keep your belt the longest it will go. Folding the right leg. Place the belt on the balls of your feet. Press the right leg up. Tuck the elbows into the body and hold. Bottom leg is straight. Bottom heel is pushed out. Toes are back. If you find that it's very difficult to stretch the leg up, you can keep it folded. For some of us, for me also, for the longest time, this was never straight. In certain, if we put the bolster, etc., in few positions, the legs, it is very difficult to straighten. So no worries, keep it folded, keep it up. Keep the neck long, chin tucked in, shoulders are relaxed, elbows are not out, elbows are tucked into the body, and also the position where the hand is holding the wrist is relaxed. So the wrist is not doing some weird thing. So from the elbow, the forearm, the natural extension of the wrist should be maintained. Otherwise, there's unnecessary strain on the wrist. Now take the other leg up, left leg up, right leg down. Feel the stretch along the back of the leg. Keep the shoulders down. Bottom leg is active. Heels forward. Toes back. Push the belt with your foot to create more of a stretch in your hamstring. If you find that the back of the head is not resting on the ground, you can place a pillow or a blanket or even the block at the back of the head. Now take both legs up, hold, take the left foot down, hold both sides of the rope with the right hand. Left hand is down. Now bring the right elbow in line with the shoulder and stretch. Bottom leg is active. And inhale, stretch up. Repeat on the other side. Left leg up, right leg down. Hold both sides of the rope with the left hand, bringing the left elbow in line with the shoulder. Right buttock is on the ground. Place the hand on the right thigh if need be. Try not to roll. The goal is not to touch the foot to the ground. And slowly bring the leg up, both legs up. Hold for a few moments. And bring your legs down. Release the belt. Turn the body to the side. Come up slowly and lie down on your stomach. Relax for a few moments in Makarasana, placing your feet, heels, legs apart, heels in line with each other, heels facing each other, hands in the locks, resting your forehead or your chin on your hands. Now bring the feet together, hands by the side of the body. As you inhale, you will lift both the legs and the upper body up. And inhale, lift, hold. 5, squeeze the buttocks. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Relax in Makarasana. Feet apart, heels facing each other. And repeat once again. Feet together, hands by the side of the body, chin down. Inhale, lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Relax. Catch your breath. And last round, feet together, hands by the side of the body, and chin on the ground. Inhale, lift, hold. 5, 4, shoulders away from the ears. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Relax. And slowly lie down on your back once again for twisting. So turn the body and lie down. Holding the legs at the knees. Take the hands to the side. Hands in line with the shoulders. Exhale, knees to the right, head to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees to the left, head to the right. Inhale, center. Knees to the right, head to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees to the left, head to the right. Inhale, center. Few more rounds. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Relax. Exhale and hold. Completely relax into the posture. Feel the twist in the spine. Slow inhalation and slow exhalation. And come to center. Change to the other side. Once again, feel the twist. Relax into the pose. Slow down the breathing. And slowly come to center. Last, we'll do Setu Bandhasana. Setu Bandhasana you can do either without support, with support. Without support, folding the legs at the knees, bringing the heels as close to the buttocks as possible, holding on to the ankles. You will roll the shoulders under and lift the trunk of the body up as such. Interlock the fingers and stretch, pushing the hips up towards the ceiling. With support, if you wish to do, you can take the block, keep it vertical, and rest the lower back on the block. With support, naturally, we can hold it for a longer period, getting the benefit of the asana even more. Slowly breathing in and breathing out. Keep your feet engaged, thighs rolling inward. Few more breaths. Let us hold this posture. And slowly lift up, release the block, relax on the floor. Final stretch, place your forearms into the ground and come to sitting. Place the block like this, behind your back, behind the lower back, and rest the entire back on the floor and the top of the head on the floor. Relax. If you have pillows or blankets, you can rest the head like this on the blanket. If you don't, just rest the crown of the head on the floor. For those who are finding this very simple, you can turn the block so that it is this facing the narrow edge on the floor and rest. Keeping the shoulders down, try not to raise the shoulders up. Feel the stretch in the neck. And taking the support of the forearms, slowly come to sitting. And finally, if you have a wall nearby, you can rest in Shavasana, or if you have the wall, come close to the wall and bring your legs towards the wall, buttocks and back of the legs resting against the wall. You can take the belt, tie it to the knees, and relax. If the entire leg is not rested against the wall, try to push with your hands and bring it so. Keep a pillow under the head. For some people, the space between the back of the head and the upper back, the neck will be quite pronounced. So you can place the block or the pillow on the head without it touching the neck. So just at the back of the head for those who need. Here, let us breathe for a few counts. Inhale, you will expand the abdomen upwards. Exhale, it sinks down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last round. Inhale. And exhale. Relax. Slowly untie the belt. Turn the body to the right side and come to sitting. Keeping the eyes closed. Sit comfortably. Back, neck and head in one line. Bring the mind once more to the tip of the nose. Observe your breath. Observe the air moving in and out of the nostrils. Observe the temperature of the air as you inhale and exhale. Feel the cool air going into the nostrils as you inhale, and feel the warm air coming out. Continue to breathe. Enjoy the silence. And let us adopt Namaskara Mudra and chant Sarve Bhavantu together. Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. Sarve Santu Niramayah. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub the palms together. Transfer the heat to your eyes. Gently massage the face, neck, arms, back, legs. Place the palms in front of the face with a few blinks. Open the eyes, look at the palms, and look up. Thank you to one and all. Thank you. Namaste.
And then hopefully Subhuji will be able to join us soon. So thank you, Aishwarya ji. That was an excellent session. We had about 130 people practicing the session this morning. It was a great retention that we had, and we have a few questions. In fact, the list is growing now. I'll try to present it before you, and you take a decision as to how you would want to address them.
Okay.
So there's one question from Anu Joshi ji. She's asking, how long do we hold the poses, and can seniors do the same sequence, and any inputs on the duration to hold?
The duration to hold one depends on the person's ability to hold it. So at no point should you be, really, oh my God, trying to hold. And this varies. There are so many factors. Age is one. Experience is another. So those who are experienced, they can hold it for much longer lengths of time. And those who are not, it's better to build up the stamina to be able to hold. So even speaking from my own experience, I was never able to hold for very long. Everything was always painful. But I found as you keep doing, you build up. You build up the ability to do it, because the muscles will just, your body will listen to what you tell. So if the body is giving you, an indication that it is in pain, and you react to the pain, then your reaction is going to determine how long the body can sustain. But if you are able to kind of, I'm not saying suppress the pain, but if you are able to relax into the stretch rather than, then it also changes the ability of the body.
Okay.
And for elderly people, it will be a different, slightly, less. We won't do all the Surya Namaskaras and all of that generally, but again, there are always exceptions. I have seen a lot of, people in their 70s and all of that who can do asanas, while we put to shame. So it just depends on the individual.
Case to case. Moving on to the next question. What asana sequence would you recommend to help to release the tension or stiffness in the lower back?
So a lot of the things we did do today, lower back tension, generally twisting. First is releasing, then strengthening. So a lot of twisting, sitting twist, lying down twist, even prone twist. All of this will help release the tension. Also, first, before you do any practice, which is, I have something here, I have something there. It's important to understand exactly what is happening within the body before you try to adjust the asana practice to that. Any practice you can adjust using props. So that is one of the great contributions. One of the greatest contributions of Sri V.K. Iyengar ji is how he was able to make each and every person, no matter what their physical condition was, practice yoga. And so everything can be done. There's no one specific sequence. It entirely depends on the individual, exactly what is happening with them. So it will be sort of geared case to case. I can't say do this and do that, and it's not going to be applicable to everybody.
Because this is a highly customized situation. So we should get to know where the block is coming from and what particular sequence would help that person.
Yeah, and if it's not enough that they're having back pain, what if they're also having hypertension? What if they're having diabetes? So that will also completely affect the postures that you do, how long you hold them, what type of breathing you do within the pose, all of that. So it will depend on a variety of factors.
But Veronica ji, who had asked this question, she continues. She says that she's been practicing hip openers for last few days, and that's why she's experiencing the lower back pain. So then I assume that she has been a regular practitioner, and yeah. So in that case, do you have any advice?
Sorry, I didn't see that. She's been practicing?
For last few days, she's practicing hip openers, and while practicing it, she's getting this pain. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I would have to ask what type of hip opener practices she's doing. And also maybe she's holding it for too long, there is also that concept, once you do one pose, you have to do a counter pose. So if you're doing a backward bend, we do a forward bend. So if your practice is only geared towards one, then you are one aspect. You have to make it like a holistic practice. If you're only focusing on shoulders, what happens to the rest of the body? How are you holding the rest of the body while trying to fix the shoulder or the hip or the back? So it has to be a holistic practice, each and every practice. And it's not enough just to do, yoga is, yes, yoga, you can target few things, but it's not meant for like, it's not like traditional exercise. Today we're going to do arms, tomorrow we're going to do abs, Thursday we're going to do, legs. It's not like that. So it can be like that. It has been made like that as well. It has been made into that format as well. But you have to kind of see what is it that you want out of the practice. Is it just what is your intention behind practicing yoga? Is it to tone your body, or is it to open your hips, or is it to regulate all of the internal functions of the body? What is your intention? Based on that, you should be practicing.
Thank you. We have a very interesting question that has come up by Debraji. I think she's also been one of our regular attendees for most of the sessions. She says, the quality of voice is so important when teaching, and I found your voice carried the practice. How did you train your voice?
Oh, thank you. Well, that is God's gift. I didn't do anything for that. My grandma has a lovely voice. My father has a, very nice voice. So that's nothing to do with me. Of course, yes, they did put me in singing and all of that, as a kid. So we sing, we've always sang bhajans, and I've been learning music. I started in with Sri Tirumala University of Bangalore, and now I'm with Srimati Lalgudi Rajalakshmi. So, but the innate voice is genetic. So thank you so much.
I think the Vedic chantings that you have been learning and practicing also matters. So I know the good Vedic chanting which you can do. We have learned from very authentic Vedic scholars, and the right way of the Vedic chanting. It also adds to a lot that we can see in Vinayji and Anuradha and all our members as well. So I think that is also an added factor. Yeah, Vinayji, please you can go with the next question.
I think the rest are more specific questions. So, and also in the interest of time, we can now make the announcement for the next session. And then we request you for a tip or a suggestion for the practice for all our attendees.
Okay, tip or suggestion.
But we will get back to you after we have the announcement for the next sessions.
Okay.
Srinivasji, can I request you to please present us the posters for the day? So in the afternoon, in the 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. IST time, we have session by Sri Regish Vattakandi, who is the founder of Ayana Yoga Academy, one of the most well-known schools in Bangalore. And he's also been a very highly renowned yoga teacher who has trained hundreds of yoga teachers. So he'll be leading a session on pranayama, experience the subtle body. And in the evening, we have the session from Sri Raghu Anant Narayan, who will be speaking on Antaranga Yoga, the yoga of inner transformation. Both of these sessions would be highly rewarding and enriching. So kindly do join us for these sessions too. So thank you. And now I go back to Aishwarya ji for a suggestion or a tip that you would like to share for all our attendees.
So the main thing I would like to share, because I speak from my own experience, is to not be judgmental with yourself. Judgmental with yourself at where you are, particularly in the asana practice, because the asana is our kind of entry into yoga. And when we go on social media and when we see how others practice, how others are able to bend and twist and do all kind of things with their body, there can be a lot of insecurity which does set in. But if we really look into the purpose of yoga and we start to experience the benefits of yoga, not just through the asana practice, but through the entire lifestyle, the adopting the whole lifestyle and the attitude, then the benefits of the practice, whatever practice you do, however simple, however complicated, will still be as effective. And so I feel we should not become bogged down by our lack of flexibility of the body, and instead look into deeper aspects, because it's such a vast subject and there are so many beautiful layers for us to explore. So try exploring, try finding, and your desire will, take you to wherever you need to go. But if we just keep focusing on our lack and our inabilities, we will not be able to progress forward. Instead, if we accept our inabilities and accept what we are unable to do, and try to not saying give up on it, but try to see that there are other things. So if you are limited by age, if you are limited by physical condition, that doesn't mean that you cannot practice yoga. And that doesn't mean you cannot get the benefit. And that doesn't mean you cannot heal whatever is the problem. So first, if we remove our self-judgment, we'll be able to do much, much more.
Thank you very much. I think that was a very useful tip or a suggestion that you shared. And it also aligns with what Patanjali says when he defines the abhyasa. Satu dirghakala nairantarya satkara sevitaha dridabhumihi. So a practice, a conscious practice undertaken over a long period of time with intense goodwill and with high regard, done in a consistent manner. I think that was the gist of what you shared, because there's a lot of anxiety in those who begin with yoga. They want to reach their toes fast. They want to do all kinds of advanced asanas. And in a short while, there's also this frustration that comes in when they're not able to arrive at it. So it was a very helpful tip in that regard. And I also like to request you, if people want to reach out to you or you follow your work, how can they do it? Do you have any website or a blog?
I have a blog, beneethabanyan.wordpress.com, and I write few articles every now and then.
Can you repeat it again, please?
Sure. beneethabanyan.wordpress.com.
beneethabanyan.wordpress.com.
Banyan. Beneath A Banyan.
Beneath A Banyan. Okay.
.wordpress.com.
And for those who
Instagram.
For those who missed the introduction in the beginning, Aishwarya ji is also a classical Bharatanatyam dancer, and there's also a dedicated page on Facebook where you get to know about her activities, her work that's happening, so they can also follow her there.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya ji. It was a wonderful session, and I thank all the participants who stayed with us and who are continuing this journey with us. So look forward to seeing you all once again in a couple of hours. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.